I know that Puff and Suge were cool
At one point.
At one
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah.
Was that like leading up to this whole incident that transpired, so to speak?
Well, I can tell you this much. Every artist from Bow Wow to TL Left Eye, Chili was Suge's girlfriend,
Mm.
and Suge that was Dallas' baby mama, and she was signed to L.A. Reid over there. Then everybody was having these little flings and things going on with the artists and you know what I'm saying, and Suge was at the time was kind of like extorting labels out of their artists. Remember when he said, if you don't want to be on your label and you want to be signed to a label, well, come on over to Death Row. He was serious, and it wasn't just about Puffy or Biggie or whatever it was. It's about whoever is unhappy with your record deal. You talk to me, and I'm gonna come get you out of that deal. And his tactics for getting people out of those deals was a little bit different than when people thought. He's not going to walk in there and be like, I'm interested in having your artist. He's going to walk in there and this is what we're going to do. Either we're going to do it this way or we're going to do it this way. And then you'll be sitting there looking. You'll be like, so what do you think? Because Suge had a bad reputation. I don't know if you remember this. When with beating people up and putting broomsticks and things in their rear ends and making them drink.
Yeah, I heard about the drinking urine.
Yeah, drinking urine.
So that's a true story.
Yeah, and if you read the history on that, he's been doing that since college. Yeah.
So,
the industry was scared of him at that time.
No, they were. Even I could tell you about an incident in 2007. I went to the BET Awards, and there was a party that Nick Cannon was DJing. There was a number of people that were there. Man's Chinese Theater, and it was supposed to be, the fire marshal shut it down. And some way, somehow, Suge got in there. And when he got in there, it was like the Goot showed up.
Yeah.
And everybody got out. Yeah. Every celebrity, when they was there, Suge is outside, it was like he coming in the front door and we going out the back door. And I was like, to see it real time, it was different. But I heard about those incidents, and Suge's tactics, obviously. So this happens to Jake. He gets killed, unfortunately, here in Atlanta. I've heard that name. So did you know Jake?
I didn't know him.
Okay.
But I was there the night that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did you, at that point, were you in communication with Puff? Okay, so you didn't even know him like that.
Yeah, because all of my friends, to me, my celebrity were my friends. Like I already knew Too Short. Yeah. I already know Eric. It's not a such thing as that. I don't need a friend. I don't need to know Puffy in order to go to the studio and do music. I'm like, he's just somebody who does music. It's not somebody that I'm I don't, it's not meeting him. It's not
mandatory.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah. So with that going on, you're at the Rim Shop. You're also at this club. So you're seeing some of everybody.
Yep.
What were some of the most? What was one of the more unusual nights, or celebrity sightings, so to speak, that you witnessed in the club?
The most. This one is not in this club. The most craziest moment was one time we was in the Bahamas hanging out with Grace Jones, and she used to come to the studio all the time. And then Mike Mace's brother used to be like, "Me love you long time." He used to just keep saying that, "Me love you long time." Grace Jones, since she party hard. Yeah. So you be like, Grace is here. I'm not going with Grace nowhere. Yeah. Cause she's not coming back to 5, 6 in the morning. She goes hard. Yeah. So and when she used to come to the studio, she used to be like, "All right, we going out?" We'd be like, "No, Grace." No, Grace.
So she cool with Puff too?
Yeah, she was cool with Puff. That's the only reason why I was meeting her, because she was in there coming to see Puff, and then we there be like, "Dang, Grace Jones."
Okay. So she was turned up more than him.
Yeah. I remember one time I was on stage performing with Puff, and we was at the inauguration for one of these presidents, and Michael Jackson was just performed. And then when we got on stage to perform, I saw Michael Jackson on the side looking at us. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
So
that was crazy.
was he
That
there
was
when you
Michael-
got off stage?
Yeah, I don't know what happened after that, but you know,
Okay.
after I got off stage, it was about me then.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
going to
wrap.
go out here and figure out what I'm going to do today.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so yeah.
Wow.
Yep, Michael Jackson.
That's amazing, man. You clearly had a lot of moments. Take me through the period of Freaknik. Freaknik, the documentary just dropped. Interestingly enough, I saw my ex-girlfriend in there. Like my frat brothers were sending me. I was like, damn.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
I was like, okay. Like it was one of those. What do you remember about that time, Freaknik in Atlanta?
Freaknik in Atlanta. Well, see, remember before we had Jack the Rapper.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Jack the Rapper, and then Jack the Rapper. Then it came into Freaknik. So then when Freaknik came, I remember we was riding down the street in the Mustangs on the Daytons, like on Minister Society. Gold Daytons, trucks with the beds spinning all the way around. We just get on Peachtree in this park, get a hotel room. You go take your car out. And then the crazy thing was a lot of people would come to Atlanta and they wouldn't have no hotel. You'd be like, so where y'all staying? Well, we ain't got a place.
I knew that.
And you'd be like,
Yeah.
what? So then you'd be like, well, y'all want to get in the car and come over? And then that's what Freaknik was. But Freaknik was just the same as going to Hugh Hefner's house. Freaknik could possibly be the same as people going to Puffy's house. That don't mean that just because they go into his house that these are the things that's going to take place. It was, so it's
one of those.
It's one of those kind of things.
Did you ever meet or encounter anybody at Freaknik that wasn't well known then, but became well known that might have been doing some things that this is before social media in its real true essence. So maybe some folks who didn't get caught out there on camera.
It's a lot of people's mamas, so you'd be like, it's a lot of. What was the next generation?
Oh man,
next gen, we was Generation X, they Generation Y, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of kids
I think it is Y.
in Generation Y that came from the Freaknik. Freaknik babies.
Just hearing about it, I never made it to Freaknik.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Man.
I missed out on that. But obviously it was a thing and all the artists would come through here. So just knowing you got signed kind of as it was winding down, right?
Yeah,
so
right on the tail end.
On the tail end.
There was no more fun at the end.
Yeah.
The city wouldn't even let Freaknik come here no more.
Yeah. Tell us about how your deal came about with Bad Boy.
I was doing music in L.A. I lived in L.A. Studio was on Hollywood and Cahuenga. And I used to just go to the studio and work all the time. After I left Atlanta, we went to Los Angeles. And I was working out there. And then one of Puff's friends that happened to be, it was my friend at the time too, he let Puff hear my music. And one day he called me about 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Puff is weird like that. He calls weird hours. He called me about 2, 3 in the morning and said, "Playboy, I want to sign you to the label." I said, "Who?" I said, he said, "Yeah, tomorrow I'll fly you out, and then we can catch up, and then I'm gonna be going." So I flew to New York. Okay, he want to sign me. He said, and then we getting ready to go on tour. At the time, they were on the No Way Out tour.